Everybody, Essence here, and today we are talking about compassionate self leadership versus harsh self leadership. Okay, compassionate self leadership is a concept that I've come up with, and my intention with sharing this is so that you understand how to motivate and inspire and lead your life and business from kindness versus being harsh and hard on yourself. So, for some reason, many of us think that being hard on ourselves or shaming or guilting ourselves will help you get the job done, right? If you shame yourself enough, you will get up and take that action. And so, maybe in the past or maybe currently, it's working, right? Like you are actually able to get things done by speaking to yourself that way or thinking those thoughts in your head. But I'm sure it doesn't feel good. And from experience, at least in my life, it doesn't feel good whenever I slip into that. And thinking back on when I used to live my life from that place, it didn't feel good. Maybe you were someone who used shaming or being hard on yourself in the past. Let's say, like, that's what got you through college or that's what helped you climb the corporate ladder. But now you no longer respond to speaking to yourself that way, and you're not taking action, and you're still just stuck. Like, you're like, if shaming myself isn't working to get myself motivated, then I don't know what to do. And I want to tell you that you can take massive action and get things done from the place of kindness and compassion and being nice to yourself. And so let's dive into what compassionate self leadership is by first taking a look at what leadership is. And I want you to think about it in a corporate structure. So here's one definition that I like. It's leadership is the art of motivating a group of people to act toward achieving a common goal. Okay, another one that I really like is leadership is influencing, inspiring, and helping others become their best selves, building their skills, and achieving goals along the way. So then, self leadership is the art of motivating yourself to act toward achieving a common goal, even if that goal is getting out of bed, going for a walk, eating a salad instead of a burger, or posting on social media. And so I have a new program, and it's called the Compassionate Self Leadership Academy. And I define compassionate self leadership there as compassionately influencing and inspiring yourself to become your best self, while at the same time elevating your life, love, and business and achieving goals along the way. Okay, so what is compassion and why should you focus on it? Okay, so compassion refers both to an understanding of another person's pain as well as wanting to mitigate or lessen that person's pain. So think about when someone you know is going through something like a hard time, a loss or heartbreak, and you have so much compassion for them. Or how even when there's this natural disaster that happens way across the globe, and you have compassion for those people and what they're going through, and you may donate money, and some people actually donate their time out of this space of compassion. And what that really encompasses is grace, empathy, mercy, and kindness. So now the goal is to turn that grace, kindness, and empathy inward through self compassion. Okay. So, without compassion, I've seen in my own life and in my clients' life that we tend to practice self leadership from the energy, again, of shame, guilt, being mean to yourself, comparing yourself to others, judging and criticizing yourself. And so, when we're in that lane, I call that harsh self leadership or negative self leadership. And so last year, I didn't notice it when I was in it. It wasn't until I was doing some reflection that I noticed that I was practicing self leadership from this space of comparison. That's how I was setting goals. That's how I was motivating myself. It was like this energy of, I better do this or that so that I can keep up with so and so. And so I may not have been saying those words out loud, but like that's the energy that I was acting from. And it did not feel good at all. And it also felt like the mud car that's stuck in the mud where the wheels are going, but not much, there's no movement. That's kind of what it felt like because I was coming from this place of comparison. Okay. So to reframe that, I had to step into, I'm not in competition. I'm on my own path and it takes as long as it takes. And that was much more compassionate versus being in this space of comparison. Another example is one of my clients. She was getting up at 4 a.m. to meditate and to exercise and basically be the good self helper, you know, that early bird gets the worm and get up and take massive action. But she was tired and depleted throughout the day. Things weren't moving in her life. And she just was feeling drained. And so intuitively, I said, I think that your body needs more rest. And that was really the compassionate thing for her to do, is to give her body more rest if it's drained and depleted. But she had that self-help mindset so ingrained that it actually took us having that conversation 3 different times before she actually compassionately stepped in to at least experiment with it. And oh my gosh, so much began to change when she allowed herself to sleep in and alter her morning practice a bit. She then went on to change her work hours to go in later, and like her relationship with herself began to blossom. The way she showed up at work was completely different because she was giving herself what she needed. And even when that old voice would come up, like, you know, when she's sleeping in, when she woke up, like she treating her, speaking to her as though she missed something, she would just compassionately tell that voice, like, this is the time I'm supposed to be getting up. And she had to just keep talking to herself in that way until that voice got on board with her sleeping in. Okay, so compassionate self-leadership may look like different things in different people's life. But from what I've seen, some of the mental conversations that happened are like, why bother? What's the point? I probably won't do it right anyway. I should be past this already. And oh my God, that is like a huge one that comes up so much in coaching is, and again, with where I was last year when I was in comparison, is thinking that you should be someplace different. And especially, you know, I work a lot people with trauma and things, hanging on to things from the past, and they'll say like, I should be past this already, like that happened when I was 15, I should be past that already. That's not very compassionate, because if your best friend came to you telling you something that she had been through when she was 15 and hadn't really worked on it, or even if she had, you're not going to say to her, you should be past that already. You will have more compassion for her. Couple other ones is, it has to be perfect, I'm such a failure. And then having the to-do list or like the action list and then not taking any action, and then shaming or guilting yourself. I see this very often, these extensive to-do lists, and then not getting anything accomplished and then being so hard on yourself. That is negative self-leadership. Okay. So another example from my past was, a few years ago, I had very strong visibility issues. I just wanted to hide. I did not want to be out doing videos. But anyway, the negative self-leadership thought was, if I don't start showing up, then I'm going to fail. And so I would motivate and inspire myself from that place. And I could still get things done. I could still create a video or content, but it was like it was coming from scarcity, and it's like a fear tactic to get myself going. And like that energy then that I was putting out and putting into my content was not the greatest. So my compassionate self leader thoughts are more like, I'm already a success. I want to show up. I look forward to sharing with my people. And when I'm in that space, it's like I'm showing up from love. I'm showing up from abundance. And like that was my thought all day, was like, I can't wait to share with my people, versus if I don't do this, I'm going to fail. And I don't know about you, but whenever I am in that space, it really, I don't take as much action as I would like. It's like it just, that negative energy is like a heavy anchor, and I don't do as much. And that is what I see also in my clients. And then when they're nicer to themselves, they are getting more things done. And so I swear that what coming up with this concept was me really thinking about the essence of what I do with my clients. And it is like I'm teaching them to see how worthy they are of being nice to themselves. I'm teaching them how to stop shaming themselves and how to be loving and compassionate with themselves, because nobody teaches us this, right? Nobody teaches us. And our parents, a lot of times, did not compassionately lead us. It was from the place of, you better get an A, or you won't get that bike, right? You better not go for seconds or you're going to be big as a house, right? So it was always like this guilting or shaming or comparing you to your sibling or another family member. And so then we have that voice in our head, and we grow up uh, leading our own selves from that same place. And so this is an invitation to step into a new paradigm where you're leading yourself, your life, and your business from compassion and from being nice to yourself. And so, my question is, where do you need more compassionate self leadership in your life or in your business? Okay, so ask yourself that question, and here's a journaling exercise to also help you step into the energy of compassionate self leadership. So make two columns. In the first column, I want you to write, what are the negative things that I think and say to myself to inspire and motivate myself? And then in the second column, I want you to reframe it from the energy of the compassionate self leader, right? So if you were stepping into the energy of compassion, what would that reframe look like? So remember my example from before is, if I don't start showing up in my marketing, then I'm going to fail. And the reframe is, I'm already a success. I want to show up. I'm looking forward to sharing with my people. And so then you think and move and lead from that second column. All right. So it's been a pleasure sharing this with you. And I promise things will begin to change when you start leading from compassionate self leadership. And so I know that some of you may have a hard time with staying on the path of being nice to yourself, because certain things that have happened to you in the past created that inner critic voice that just won't be quiet no matter what you try to do. And sometimes that just, you may need help with working through that. And so if you are a coach, leader, dreamer, or entrepreneur, and you're feeling stuck, blocked, and you can't get into compassionate leadership to take action towards your dreams, then I'd love to invite you to the Compassionate Self Leadership Academy. It's a 5-month one-on-one transformational journey to learn how to compassionately influence and inspire yourself to become your best self, elevate your life, love, and business, and achieve goals along the way. And in this program, where we'll assess where you are with your relationship with yourself, your family, your business, and with life itself. We will take a look at any shame, guilt, limiting beliefs, trauma, judgment, or comparisons that are holding you back. And we will get a clear vision of what compassionate leadership looks like for you in your life, business, or your family life. And then lastly, we'll set goals, create a plan, and begin creating compassion, magic, and miracles in your life and in your business. Okay. So to learn more about the Compassionate Self Leadership Academy, go to essenceturner.com/compassionate self leadership. All right. It has been a joy, and I will talk to you later.